Empaths find fulfillment from helping others, but it's important to be selective of who we help. Otherwise, we may be taken advantage of or may even end up hurting ourselves. Not everyone will deserve our help, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I decide whether to help someone or not, the 2 things I do before I help someone, and at the end of this video, I want to share with you a little tip that helps me to avoid being taken advantage of. Recently, I was in a shopping center on my way back home. A tourist started a conversation with me and asked me for some money for dinner. I say no and I just walk away. This may sound a little bit cold and harsh, but I had all my reasons to reject this man. Firstly, something felt really off when he was talking to me. He started a conversation with, "Do you speak Chinese? Are you a local?" There's something about the way he spoke to me that just felt inauthentic. And my lie detector alarm was sounding like vigorously, like ding 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 ding. Secondly, he said he had lost all his money in the casino and he had no money to eat. This is against my value. I don't want to help someone who gambles their money away. Even if they are my friends or family, I won't help them. This is a boundary I set a long time ago. I won't support someone who squandered their money away in gambling. So when he said that, it made my decision much easier. And lastly, this is interesting. Before the man even approached me for help, I was actually walking behind him and his 2 friends. I saw them looking at the clothing shops and deciding which restaurant to eat at. I'm very sure that even though they may not have the money to eat at some fancy restaurant, they probably have the money to eat at a hawker center across the street. And if you don't know what a hawker center is, it's just a place in Singapore or Southeast Asia where there are rows of stores selling food and there are a lot of seats available. The food there is much cheaper because they don't have any air conditioning, unlike the food courts at the restaurant, and you don't have to pay a service charge. And that's probably why I don't feel the need to help the man. They are not really in a very desperate situation. So how do we decide whether to help someone or not? You always want to consult your intuition first. If someone gives you the bad vibes, do not help them. Do not get involved. Your spirit will always protect you from negative energy. You know what's funny? When I was walking behind them like a couple of meters away, I didn't know why I paid attention to them in the first place. It's just that they are giving off a certain weird vibe, and it's as though my spirit was urging me to take notice of them. There could be many different things I could pay attention to at that time, but they caught my attention. When people ask you for help, you want to use your superpower as an empath to check if what they are saying matches what they are feeling. We empaths are able to sense what the other person is feeling. Of course, the more intense their emotions are, the easier it is for us to feel. If the other person is feeling neutral, it's more challenging. But the main thing here is to take the information that we get from their emotion and their feeling and check for congruency. The man that I was talking to definitely didn't feel hungry or desperate in need for money. He sounded very casual and somewhat happy. I don't know whether happy is the right word to use here, but it feels like he's just like, I'm just going to try my luck with this guy and see whether it works or not, that kind of vibe. And this is the ability that all empaths possess, and we can use it to protect ourselves. It's important to not only consult our intuition, but also listen to it. I could tell you so many stories of how many times I got this bad gut feeling about someone, but I didn't listen and it didn't end up well. So listen to your intuition all the time. Don't just listen to what the other person is saying, because what the other person is saying may not match their true intention. The second thing that could help you decide whether to help someone or not is your values. You need to know your value very well so that you can make a quick split-second decision. As soon as I heard him say he lost his money in the casino, I knew it was a no for me. I don't enjoy helping people financially when I know they have a hole in their pocket. So whatever time, money, effort that I invest in the person, I know it will just go down the drain. So I'm very particular about this when I help someone. I want to truly help someone in their life. I don't want to enable someone's bad habits or behavior. I have a video where I explain the differences between helping someone and enabling them. You can find the video in the link over here. I also don't enjoy helping people who don't help themselves. Like people who will ask you for a lot of advice, but they don't listen or they don't do anything to change. So you need to know what values are important to you. If you are unclear about your values, you may find that you will agree to many things which you later regret. When you don't know beforehand what's important to you, you can't even establish a boundary or reject someone. So you need to know your values very well. Your emotion will be a great indicator of what your boundaries are. If you help someone and then you feel resentment, it could mean that you have given more than what you want to. You have reached your limits and your boundaries. Of course, this is a process. It will take some trial and error to know what your values truly are. Sometimes you will need to make mistakes and feel burnt out or resentful to know that, oh, this is my boundary. I didn't realize that I was giving too much. And then you include this boundary next time or in the future. Apart from listening to your intuition and your values, there is still one little tip I want to share with you from this incident. I was walking behind the man, and when I passed him, he started a conversation with me. I didn't stop and turn to the man and give him my whole attention. I know this is what most empaths would do when someone wants your attention, like if I'm doing my work and my brother just walked into my room and want to talk to me. I will stop everything I'm doing and talk to him. I will give him my full attention. My whole world stops for the other person. What I realized though, when I go to my brother's room and talk to him, he will take off his earplug, he would listen to me, but he will still continue working on his computers sometimes. He will give me some attention, but not all of his attention. His world didn't stop for me, which is actually a good thing if you apply to my incident. When the man approached me, I didn't stop and give him my full attention. Instead, I just kept walking while talking to him. I walked at a slower pace and gave him some of my attention, but I didn't give him my full attention. I was still focused on my path ahead. If I were to stop and listen to him, I would be more vulnerable to some of his tactics. Maybe he will start begging me for money, or maybe he will try to convince me more and explain why he needed the money. More importantly, by stopping, I'm signaling to him that he has caught my attention. This is very similar to fishing. When you know you hooked the fish, all you have to do is just reel the fish in. Like if I were to stop, he would know that he has hooked the fish and now he just have to reel me in. But by not stopping, I actually give myself an exit route. I can just say no and immediately head off. I didn't need to waste any of my time with him and deal with him anymore. And he's more likely to give up because he knew that he didn't hook me. So if a stranger approaches you when you're walking, you want to continue walking. But to do this successfully, you will need some practice. Watch this next video to see how I get good at saying no to others.